And if we're being honest, Soulja Boy's gonna lose to Bow Wow convincingly.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
People are playing.
It's gonna be bad for Soulja Boy.
People are playing with Bow Wow's name.
Bow Wow's washing it.
Yo, and people don't know what Bow Wow's been involved in. Like, just
No,
we're not doing this. No, bro, I'm committed.
Can I talk? Can I talk?
No, 17.
Can I talk?
He's gonna be 73.
Can I talk?
He's gonna be 73.
Can I talk?
No, you can't talk.
Can I talk?
He's gonna get mollywopped.
Why can't I talk?
He's gonna lose 70.
Why can't I talk?
What?
Why can't I talk?
Nah, man.
Why can't I talk? This is censorship, boys.
When Bow
Can I
Wow
talk, please? This is censorship. Thank you. Okay, so obviously crank that. Keep me through the phone. Turn my swag on. I ain't got much else. What was the last new Bow Wow song you listened to?
You?
Yeah. Past his prime.
Nah, I haven't.
Yeah, me neither.
What's going on, world? Welcome to episode 53 of the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast with your boys Peter,
Yo,
Mohammed,
Yo.
and myself, Yemi. It's a Saturday afternoon, another day, another pod, guys. How we doing?
we're here, man. All good. How are you?
Yeah, man. All good here. All gravy. You know what I mean? Like I said, summer's here, finally. Although, we might be waiting another 4 weeks until
Fuck Boris.
everything is over and done with as far as this lockdown goes. So, I mean, I don't think it's Boris's fault, to be fair. It's the Indian variant of COVID-19.
Fam,
There's going to be a fucking Czech Republic variant in a month's time.
It's been a year and a bit, man. What's 4 more weeks, though?
No, don't do that.
It's true.
No, it's not. It's 4 more weeks.
No, but it depends. If the restrictions are still the same as they are now, and then we have to wait another 4 weeks, it's fine. But if we go backwards,
I'm not having it.
then it's a problem.
What are you going to do about it?
My life, I'm living. Them man can have all the restrictions they want. I'm out here.
Doing what?
I don't know, man. I just want to put. I'm done with it.
You can only walk the streets of Tottenham at night for so long.
Hey, man.
For real.
Do you know what it is though? It's just getting long now. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's been long for over a year now.
Yeah, man. It's just like there's gonna be a variant every other month.
Nah, I mean the Indian one is mad though. Did you see what we've got? Have you seen what's been going on in India?
Honestly, yeah. But
Yeah, it's mad out there.
respectfully, it's like I'm sure there's gonna be another variant in 3 weeks' time. Do you know what I mean? There
Yeah.
is, just naturally. That's how it goes.
I mean, there's been the South African one, the Brazilian one, the Indian one.
the Croatian one.
I mean, if you're going to start naming names now, cool. But there have been a few ones, and those are the countries where it was really bad. So those are just going to be in the air now, fine. But as far as cases keep going up now with this Indian variant, it's only a precaution, isn't it? So as long as we're still able to go out,
At least somewhat.
get our buns out and that,
Hey.
then, you know, well, maybe not us, but anyone watching anyone listening wants to get their buns out and stuff, then they can still,
Sun's out, buns out.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But we move, man. Mohammed, how you doing?
I'm chilling, man. Living, working.
Gymming.
Hey, I don't even want to talk too much. But
You back at
gymming's-
work?
Nah. But yeah, just been gymming. That's actually what's going on now with me.
Yeah.
Like, just been gymming heavy.
Summer body come, yeah?
Nah, 2022. At least let's be realistic here.
Yeah.
2021
Give
is
the
a wrap.
streets a bit of time to,
2022
to prep for that.
It's done. It's done.
Give the
It's done.
streets.
You know, when say if we go back to Cuba, you think I'm wearing my shirt? Every day's off. Every day.
Fam, you wear Jordans on sand. I'm not believing that you're walking around topless.
Yeah,
But
I'm not
Life,
really believing that either.
if I'm wham, I'm walking, bro. You might not gonna know I'm 6'3". Right now, I feel like I'm 6'3", but I'm not 6'3". I'm gonna be 6'3" by the time I finish with gym.
that belly 6'3", that's what 6'3".
What you say?
That belly
That
6'3".
was so unnecessary. So uncalled for.
Bro, you know you made me look down. No, I'm not sweet. Don't do that to me.
Nah, you lost
Yeah,
it.
don't do that
that's
to me. I
what-
tell you,
that's
man, give that 6 months, man.
what- I
God
don't
is
want to
good.
fat shame as well, bro.
No, you have.
I
You're not fat,
apologize.
to be fair.
I
You're not fat, to
apologize.
be fair.
I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
exactly.
bro, I'm way less
I mean,
than
that was still uncalled for.
No, I'm way less than 100 kg. I'm good. But yeah, man, that's just been me gymming, chilling, podding.
So basically, you're on your way to becoming the first ever Somali juice head.
Without the steroids, yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be you don't have to have steroids to be a juice head.
Do you not?
That's what
I don't think so.
That's the definition.
You just
of
got to be a gym head.
Isn't juice head the definition of a steroid?
That's what I thought.
Juice.
No, I thought it was just
Oh, fair
you
enough.
just gym a lot.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to be wham. That's all it is. I mean,
We moved though, man.
hey, that's been my 2 weeks. Yeah, nothing spectacular. What about you?
Yeah, fine. Writing, chilling. Back at work 2 times a week.
How's that going?
Kind of boring, to be honest. We ain't doing a whole lot. We're just there to be there. But
Back in the office or still from home?
we ain't got an office. so at home. But yeah, it's cool. Like the main highlight is just like weekly meetings on a Friday where we're meeting new staff and stuff. But other than that, nothing too mad up until now. But we move.
Yeah, I'm well, man. Just work. I'm gymming as well.
Oh, talk that talk.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean?
Talk that talk.
Yeah, trying to gym, getting proper shape before the end of the summer.
You're lucky, man. You're 5'8". It's easy for you.
CM.
That was a clear.
See what I mean?
That was A, that was a bite, and B, that was a pure. That was a very clear.
Can you tell him
that
was unnecessary?
That wasn't necessary. That wasn't necessary.
I'm sorry. It's 1-1.
And first of all, I'm 5'9", isn't it?
Oh.
Let's be accurate here.
The fact you had to correct him as well. This is just bad.
That was a bite.
All of this is bad.
That was a bite.
But yeah, I'm good, man. Just working, gymming, and yeah, just trying to enjoy the sun. Got nothing to report, man. Just keeping a low profile still. So yeah.
And now the Euros are started, so we're all going to be so that's going to be us now for the next month.
Oh yes. How do we think England's going to do?
They're like quarterfinal specialists, isn't it? So they'll probably get to the quarters.
I
don't see them getting beyond that.
If England dodge France, I've got them going to the semis because they could potentially meet France next round. If they meet France next round, you're going home quick.
Yeah.
But that's my guess. I got France winning it all.
I think France as well. France, Belgium, or Portugal.
I think England's going to go further than Portugal. I'll take.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think France, Portugal, or Italy. Italy had a very strong start yesterday. Beat Turkey 3-0. Very well organised under Roberto Mancini. So watch out for them.
All right, if France don't win it, who you got?
Portugal.
If France don't win, who you got? Second.
Yeah, Portugal. I'd love to see Holland do quite well, just because I've always fucked with Holland, but they've just got an ability to underachieve a lot of these tournaments. So
as do England. So even though they've got like a world class squad, I don't think Gareth Southgate is the guy to mould it. So I think quarterfinals for them.
I've got England going to the final. At least the semis. I've got England going far. I think it's the best English squad I've seen.
I didn't know that a lot of people didn't really mess with Southgate.
He's shit, man.
I thought people liked him because he's allowing the youth to come through like no previous managers have before. So I thought that was being appreciated.
He just don't have a trade.
Yeah. And the players that he's bringing in can actually ball.
That's the problem. But he's not bringing that out of them.
Yeah, he's not bringing that out of them, but also he clearly doesn't care too much for Trent. He clearly doesn't. Trent Alexander-Arnold. He clearly doesn't care too much for Jack Grealish either. And these are like two top creative people. So he's just making all the very strange decisions. And he plays very strange decisions.
He plays hell defensive against teams that you should be going up against. Anyway, that's just my pick. If France don't win it, I've got England. Hot take.
Fair enough. Well, back to the music, guys. Thank you once again, guys, for listening. Shout out to our Spotify listenership, our Apple Podcast listenership, our YouTube listenership, our SoundCloud listenership, and whatever else you're watching and listening, because obviously whatever we record manages to make its way everywhere. Like every time I Google Rhymes Like Dimes, I just find a new provider that's just playing it that I didn't know was playing it. So shout out to you, man, that take our content and stuff. So, more streams the better. But yeah, let's get into it, guys. I'll start with Peter. What you been listening to this week, bro?
Mainly Children of Zeus album, bro. That album is fire. That album is fire, man. Like that's like the first album of the year so far that I've been listening to consistently. It's been a while since an album's been released, and I've just been playing that for like 2-3 days straight. But that album, oh yeah, man, that was hitting the soul right there, man. So it was a really dope album. I really enjoyed it.
It's one of the best UK or US of the year so far.
Yeah, 100%. Lloyd Banks is The Course of the Inevitable. Dope album as well. I'm so happy for Banks, man, because I've always been a massive fan. He's always been like mad nice with it. So to see him like, he's been in the game for like 20 years, release an album and it gets some fan like fare, it's nice, man. It's nice to see.
I feel like Mo inadvertently summoned him from his slumber.
You know what I mean?
Because Mo did an appreciation post, I think the Monday before last, and then he dropped his album the following Friday.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to talk too much.
Hey, man.
I'll talk for you. Listen, Lloyd, you owe Mo something.
What else? I've been listening to Thames, who's an R&B singer from Nige.
Fire.
I listened to her EP for Broken Ears, which I really liked. And then Ty Dolla $ign and Jeremiah dropped an album maybe a couple of years ago called My Tai. So been vibing to that as well. I've always liked both of them. So yeah, it was a good album.
That's such an R&B title for an album.
What, My Tai?
My Tai. Yeah. That's something you would enjoy too.
Yeah. No, it's all right, man. It's got some good tunes in there.
Do you drink Mai Tais?
I don't drink.
Allegedly. All right, Mohammed.
Nah, I don't drink. When's the last time I had alcohol?
Bro, you have been saying for the last 10 years, I don't drink.
When was the last time I had alcohol?
I don't know.
I had alcohol in 2021.
Cool.
So I don't drink. Just support me. Why you gotta like?
I don't think. Nah. Here's the thing, and we're not going to do that either.
Why can't you just support me?
Because I've supported you always when you've said I'm not going to drink, and then you've always drank and gone back to the bottle. So why should I keep supporting
See, when
you?
you say it like that, you make me
You're
sound like
making
I'm an
it sound
alcoholic,
alcoholic, fam.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
Go back to the bottle.
Yeah.
So in your
I'm
mind,
saying it for dramatic effect because I'm letting him know how many times he breaks promises.
so the difference between him saying I'm not drinking and me saying I'm not drinking.
Because you've never sipped it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but
You're not drinking right
Muslim
now.
though, innit?
You're not drinking right now.
All right, let's do that.
Thank you.
Let's do that.
Because you're going to drink in the future.
See, we don't know that.
You are going to
Are you
drink.
drinking
we don't
Are
know
you gonna
that.
drink at your wedding?
Nah.
Okay, then maybe not.
Right now, nah.
Either he might not.
I'm just not in the mood to put alcohol in my body. I don't want to poison my body right now.
After that last time, forget it.
Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm good right now, man.
Listen, man, good luck to you.
Thank you, sir. That's all I wanted. That's all you needed to say.
You should know me by now. That's not that easy sometimes.
Inshallah.
And I'm the bastard.
Yes, you are. I think we've all agreed that we're all individual bastards. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, just a total pole.
Varying degrees.
Just
Innit?
on a total pole, Peter.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's first?
Yemi's first.
100%.
Yeah,
He's first.
didn't I say in the group a couple
Slander.
of days ago when he said something hella sarcasm like this is why I say
Slander.
you're the villain.
This is such slander.
Yemi is
This is slander.
number one because of his sarcasm. Then you,
Slander.
and then me.
You're a bastard.
No, the group, the people have
The
spoken.
fact you've rated it like that
The
is
people
evident
have
as to why you're a
spoken that
bastard.
I am not the bastard.
Bro, do you know what I've
that you
deep? People love Mo, you know?
Yeah.
People off the podcast love Mo. My friend in LA, big up Omano, like she really wants to meet Mohammed.
What can I say?
I don't understand why.
Because he says the things that everybody else might not, doesn't want to.
But they feel like this guy's like lovely and funny. They don't
Thank
know this
you.
guy's really a bastard and a
No,
villain.
don't portray.
This is what I don't
This is what I'm
understand.
saying. This is-
And she's not the first person to say that. I've had a few people say, yo, like, I really want to meet Mo.
No,
I'm
listen,
like, why?
You need, number one.
Like,
you need-
why?
Nah, that's bastard.
Number one, you need to pray because this isn't healthy. People loving me, I can't help it. I'm a lovable guy.
I don't
And
get it.
salute to all of you.
So you're at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to this bastard thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, the people have spoken.
I don't get it.
They agree that you're number one and Peter's number two.
But do you know what the maddest
No
thing
one
is? They
agreed
know
to
they
that.
don't. They
No,
don't
people
know.
say Peter's number one, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
People say
I
Peter's
think,
number one.
That's
yeah,
accurate.
amongst us, we know that Yemi's number one.
Yeah,
innit?
we know Yemi's
But
number one.
For a lot of listeners, they feel like I'm the troublemaker, I'm the boss. And I don't get it.
We always argue with you. That's
You
why.
never get it. I don't understand why you
They
don't
feel
get
like
it.
I'm the villain. And
Yeah,
I don't
you
get
are,
it.
'cause
I don't
we
understand
argue
why
with
you
you.
don't get it.
I just don't get it. I'm just, I'm an angel, bro. I don't, you know what
You're
I
a
mean?
snob.
Someone who calls themselves an angel is not an angel.
You're a snob. And you've accepted you're a snob.
Bare negativity on that side
See?
of the room.
You
innit?
hear that?
Just
Yeah,
bare
yeah,
negativity.
Mohammed,
man.
what have you been listening to this week, bro?
Let me go for it now.
That's
Oh,
ridiculous.
I was listening to hella. So this week, because obviously Mohammed's been gymming, I've been listening to hella Jay-Z. Like I've really been going through a hella whole phase this week. So I listened to obviously the Blueprint 1, 2, 3. Like I was just listening to Hov this whole week. And that's what got me through it, man. You don't realize how many songs this guy has that could get you going. And it's just that catalog should be illegal. Like the amount of songs, the amount of hits, the amount of bars that he has. Like I remember I was on a treadmill and then he's got a song with Cole on Blueprint 3 called Star Is Born. That got me through 4 minutes calmly.
Not a good song, though.
You don't like it?
I like that song.
I like that
I
song
didn't
a
like
lot,
it
man.
too.
I like that song a lot, man. I think Cole bodied it as well.
Cole was alright. I just
Yeah.
didn't care for the actual
Yo,
song.
yo. Sorry to cut you off here. Yeah, what does that say at the bottom?
Is this meant to be?
The point that I was just making about people loving Mo. I just got a random message because I'm talking to someone. What does that say?
Say hello to my fave. Who was her fave?
Mohammed.
I mean,
I said hello back. God bless. What's her name?
I'm not going to put her name on
My
the
fault. God bless you, know.
oh, God bless her.
God bless her.
Listen, man, they love him. He's the
I
voice
don't
of the
know
people.
why you lost.
He's the voice of the people.
I don't know.
I've accepted it. Certain man in this room haven't.
Just call me Dirk.
No, allow it.
Yeah, what you been listening to, bruv?
Mohammed, are you done?
Yeah, that's about it. And also, I found out about some Somali artists that I didn't know about. That was on that Linked Up TV.
Who's that?
Some guy called Baby Man or something like that. And I've recently found out about him. And I didn't know there's a whole wave of Somali kids making music. And I didn't know about it.
I need to send you an article that a Somali kid wrote for Vice about this Somali rap. Essentially.
Yeah, it's essentially there's a few of them that are starting to, I guess, make noise. And for Somalis in the music scene, we don't exist.
Yeah.
Like it's just besides K-Non, we're not there. And it's like seeing what these guys are doing, and they're actually making good music with it. So
Yeah, there's a driller as well called SD Muni. who I think is Somali as well.
Yeah.
I'll send you some things.
Yeah.
He's dope.
So that's what I've been listening to, man. I thought, let me just see what people are doing. So I was listening to them, and then a lot of Hove while I'm in the gym. So that's been my week wrapped up.
Dope. Well, I've been on the Children of Zeus album as well. Fantastic album from front to back.
Yeah, man.
I think Tyler Daly, who sings, next to Connie Con, who raps, is a perfect marriage.
100%.
Next to the production, the soulful, and then the kind of Jay Dilla-esque type of production as well. It's a perfect mesh. So shout out to those guys. Manny, stand up. I've also been listening to, I revisited Reasonable Doubt. Maybe I was a little too harsh on it to begin with.
Maybe.
Now, I'm not saying that I loved it front to back, because I didn't. But it's a lot better on another listen.
What songs don't you like on there?
I'd have to get it up. I don't know if I care too much for Bring It On.
For real? That sounds like something you would like, though.
I mean,
that's Primo.
I don't like every Primo song.
I know, but you're like
a Primo head.
Yeah, you're like the face of like the Primo heads, isn't it?
The face of it.
Am I the face?
So, like the face. He's like
Am I the face?
Yem's like the face of like the Primo heads, the Doom heads.
He
definitely
is. No.
Heads.
He is the face of the Doom heads, bro. He is that flipping mask, bro. He is the face.
He's the masked rapper. He is Doom.
He is Doom. Yemi is the face of the Doom. And you know what they are? They're a cult. They're not a fan base.
They are a
Doom
cult.
as a cult. And if you don't agree with them, you're a dickhead. He is the face. No, I'm telling you, their fan base is a cult, bro. There's certain fan bases in hip hop.
How would you know? You don't know anything about Doom.
Would you say? No, you see, that's the cult talking.
Yeah, someone that is in a secret society would say that.
Yeah, just because I don't listen to him, I don't know nothing about their fan base.
Pete, why are you indulging this guy who's gone on record of this pop and called Doom weirdo shit? Why are you co-signing this guy?
No. I called ASAP weirdo shit. I didn't call Doom weirdo shit.
No,
yes, you did.
Did I call Doom weirdo shit?
Yes, you did.
He said he's more.
So it's not mad for me to say you don't know shit about anything. It's not mad for me to say that.
Oh yeah, that's a bit disrespectful. I didn't know I said all of that.
Yeah, man.
But
anyway,
are you telling me it's not a cult? A little bit.
It's not a cult.
No, a little bit.
It's not a cult.
Not you personally.
It's not.
Some of his fan base is a cult like fan base.
Oh, you mean like a cult like fan base and not a cult?
No, you're a cult as well.
See, this is what I mean. We need to delineate. What's because it's not a cult, but he does have a cult like fan base.
You lot are practically.
He's an underground legend. No, allow it.
And not you personally.
No, but I'm saying generally.
Are like, you know, Scientology had the accurate Scientology.
So what? Doom heads is a part of Scientology.
You know what I'm saying? Their fan base talks like, I'm telling you, bro. Like, there's a couple of crackers in that fan base.
Aren't all fan bases like that in a way?
Cole's definitely got a cult fan base.
Nicki Minaj, bro.
No, they need to be eradicated.
They need to be sectioned.
Yeah.
Nah, you know Doom fans are different.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're not a cult in the same way that a Nicki Minaj fan base would be a cult. I think it's pretty much the same. I don't think there's any real difference. The only difference is the Doom heads are more mysterious because you don't see them as much because more time they're not leaving their basements.
I'm telling you,
but
fam.
At the same time,
who don't leave their basements? Cults, bro.
That's not true though, because Nicki Minaj's fan base, they stay on Twitter, fingering, doing their struggle tweets and being stupid. It's not just children; it's people her age as well. And all the way down.
They changed their name to like Barbie. Yeah, Nicki's fan base is disgusting.
This is what I mean.
It's actually nasty.
So respect
that
Doom,
Stan
innit?
fan base needs to go away though. I hate that in hip hop.
But back to Reasonable Doubt. Cashmere Thoughts, I didn't care for.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get that.
Bring It On, meh. I think Feeling It, meh.
Oh, raw.
Ain't No Nigga I Can Take or Leave.
Oh, that's banging, man.
So
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But other than that, overall, I still enjoy it. And shout out to Jay for that, for sure.
I'm happy that you're listening to more Jay.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I'm trying to give him a shot. I'm not trying to completely close the door.
Because you might be the only person that is in my life that doesn't like Jay like that.
Hey, man. What can I say?
That's why we've got a podcast.
I've never understood it, but you know.
Hey, man. We move.
It's like you said it on.
I also listened to the Little Baby and Little Durk album, Voice of the Heroes. Voice of the Heroes.
Was it good?
It was all right. You know what it is? I think they've clearly got this new generation melodic thing on lock, and congrats to them. The production was very monotonous. It wasn't that great. It was just kind of... And they love that piano-led production, which is trying to make what they're saying more deeper than it is. And
It's that melodic thing
stop
that
that.
you hit the nail on the head as well, man.
Yeah.
Or-
But overall, I mean, listen, they play to their strengths. Baby clearly is talented. Dirk is talented, although I think Baby's more talented. I still don't really get the appeal of Dirk, but
I fuck with that.
Yeah. Mo's been fucking with that.
yeah, of course. But
And I'm late on Dirk. I'm super late on Dirk.
I thought you were early
No, I knew Dirk.
because you've been talking about Dirk for as long as I've known you.
Yeah, but in terms of the progression of his music has gone a lot better, if that makes sense. Like musically, I think Dirk's gone a lot better. But
fair.
yeah, man, I like the mixtape.
Maybe because I'm just outside looking in. I've
'Cause he-
never really been there for his come up.
He wasn't always doing the melodic thing.
No,
was
that's
he?
what I'm saying. Yeah, like he used to just he was a drill head.
He was a driller.
He was a drill head, man. Like he was just the Chicago youths, Little Reese, Chief. They all came from the same kind of bracket, ran about the same time, and I guess he kind of took it the furthest. And then that new school is a wave we're gonna have to accept at some point. Polo G's now got the number
I
one
don't have to
album.
accept a damn
Not
thing.
like that. Not accept it in terms of
That was a
but
bite, by the way.
Yeah, it was. But you need to accept it in terms of his hair. Polo G's got the number one album.
Oh yeah, they can be here.
Like they're here.
They can be over there.
Another bite. Fair. I mean, Polo G's got number one album.
I think he's got the number one album.
Well, salute to Polo G.
I believe he's got the number one album in the streets.
Salute to Polo G. I also revisited the off season. Yeah, man. Dope album.
Best one already? Commit to it?
I'm not gonna say that. I think
Well,
right
his best
now-
one or best album of the year.
No, his best album.
Oh, his best album. Oh yeah, for
You've
sure.
come- you're
Without
committed
a
to
shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt.
That's kind of easy. Yeah.
Yeah. As far as my albums of the year, mine are Gets Conflict of Interest, Slow Tie, Tyrone, Jaco Off Season, Children of Zeus, Balance. Those are my 4 so far. But yeah, all good in their own right. But Off Season, yeah, man, he was on a different plane on that one. And other than that, just some house joints, an album by a guy called Pote. And I've also been checking out this new South African genre of house called Amapiano, which is very dope as well. So if you don't know about it, get to know. It's very, very dope.
Yeah, someone I used to talk to tried to put me onto that.
It's sick.
Yeah, it's
What, house
banging.
music?
Yeah, it's banging. South African, it's banging.
Yeah. South Africa got it on lock as far as the house scene. I
Is
remember
there
we.
some Black Coffee from there? Someone called Black Coffee that makes house music.
Yeah,
Yes, he's from there. He does a
dope
lot
as
of
well.
things.
He was on Drake's More Life album.
Collab with Drake. I think he's collabed with someone else as well. Maybe like Alicia Keys or someone. But he's out there. So shout out to him as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, eclectic guys. As always. Love to see it. Cool. All right then. Let's move on to the first topic. So what we're going to talk about firstly today is about the radio scene in the UK. As it pertains to rap, grime, and just general UK black music. Now, the radio scene here has undergone and gone through various shifts of relevance and irrelevance. You can go back to the grime days where, you know, MCs were coming up via pirate radio. And even before that, you had the likes of Kiss and Choice FM repping for the black, quote unquote, urban artists. I do too. To the present day where you have a lot of representation in the radio scene for black music by way of, you know, BBC Radio 1, 1 Extra, Beats, No Signal, all kinds of stuff. And it kind of just shows the growth of the radio scene as has gone hand in hand with the music scene generally. So I guess what we want to do is just dissect the phenomenon of radio, what kind of happened to it when it was irrelevant, how it's become more relevant over time, and yeah, if it's here to stay, basically. So, lads, what do we think about the phenomenon of UK black radio?
I don't quite know where to start with this, man.
Because this is before our time, even.
Yeah, because when I was thinking of the topic, I just was thinking about black radio today for rap and grime, and it kind of felt like it's non-existent. And I don't know how it felt like that, but I don't know how accurate that is. Obviously, a lot of things are online now, and I feel like that definitely has an effect on what we perceive to be radio. So that's why I wanted to pose it to you, man, because I just wasn't sure what the general scene of radio is now, because it feels like it doesn't matter as much anymore, because a lot of the internet, everything's moved to the internet now, so a lot of it's just like direct to consumer and that. You don't really find many people in cars still listening to radios. You still have some people do it. My mom still listens to Kiss FM from time to time. Do you know what I mean? But typically, I don't really find or hear people say, "Oh, you know, I heard that tune on the radio and that." So that's why I was like, how do you man view radio today?
So basically what you're saying is when it comes to radio, being able to go into your car,
black radio,
being able to go into your car, turn a knob and listen to the radio like that sort of thing. Well, I mean, that's the relevance of that has kind of wavered over time. I think with everything going digital, so as has radio. So radio now, not exclusively, but primarily has a home online on the internet. So obviously the likes of like BBC Radio, you're always going to find those terrestrially when you go in your car, stick on the radio or whatever. But you'll also be able to listen back to those shows online and stuff. And that's how a lot of people, especially young people, are able to take in the music, and especially if they're listening to radio. I think it's very much existent. As I said in the intro, I feel like as the music scene has grown, radio has grown as well, because you have a whole new generation of broadcasters and voices that are able to front these shows and present the music that we would like, whether that's mainstream or not. So in that respect, I feel like it's very much an ecosystem now that's developing, growing in real time and becoming greater, to the point where a lot of these new generation broadcasters haven't even reached their peak and probably won't for the next decade to where we'll see how far they really take this thing.
But how many of these radio stations in the UK are catering to our scene? Because obviously they have to play all sorts of music, but how many of them are playing music predominantly UK-based rap or grime or UK R&B?
There's lots, man.
There's lots.
There's lots. I mean, I could ring off a few. I mean, obviously Charlie Sloth. Tiffany Calver, she does the rap show on One Extra, I believe. Capital Extra plays nothing but Ask Our music, especially a guy called Robert Bruce. He interviews guys, he plays their music.
Is that including American?
No, it's UK.
Okay.
UK. I mean, I think on occasion they'll play all that kind of stuff, but there is an emphasis on UK stuff as well. Even more so now because there's just more of it around. So they want to show up and show out for our scene just as much as they would for, overseas, because our scene is very much at a strong state right now. So there's that. There's Kenny Allstar. Kenny Allstar pretty much is on, I think he's on BBC as well. He very much reps for like UK rap, UK drill, to the point where even outside of radio, he's got his own platform, Mad About Bars, where he essentially allows young MCs to come to his domain and basically rap and freestyle and perform. So that does a lot for the scene as well. You have Sir Spyro. He's on BBC Radio 1. He's got his grime show, puts on a lot of grime MCs, like old school freestyle, cypher type things in big BBC. So there's that. Snoochie Shy, she does her thing. No Signal, they do their thing. Even Deja Vu FM, like where a lot of people like that we grew up on got their start, they're still doing bits. So
does it feel better than when it was all pirate radio? Because a lot of the black-led pirate radios definitely had an impact on the radio scene in the UK that would arise years later. Does it feel any different?
It's more organised now. I think back in the day, anyone could basically go up to the top of a council estate, get an antenna, and make a pirate radio station. Whereas now, that spirit is now going into the big offices, so the BBCs, or they're becoming more independent and creating their own stuff, like No Signal sort of thing. So I think the entrepreneurship is there and has always been there, but it's just grown and been channeled into bigger institutions and bigger pictures for themselves, basically. So where pirate radio succeeded, new radio and mainstream radio now have kind of just taken that mantle and taken that ball, because a lot of the people that host those kind of shows now grew up on that era, so they've seen how they've seen it develop, they've seen it spread into what is now the scene. So with that, I think it's become a lot healthier because they're taking the lessons of the past and they're regurgitating it in present form, and they're being able to reach millions more people, basically.
It does feel like that, but there's a couple different ways that I want to attack this, innit? How many of these radios, even though they're predominantly playing black music, are black owned? That's my first point. And then my second point is, how many of these radio stations that are playing black music are employing black staff to lead these black music playing radio stations? Because that's also an issue that I find as well within the UK as well.
So it's like a buy us for us sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and I know that's not always realistic, but considering that all these radio stations are playing black music, I don't think it's that wild to have.
Yeah, of course. I mean, just to expand that out a little bit as far as like the black owned, obviously No Signal is black owned.
I know NTS
NTS is black owned, but they cover the whole musical spectrum.
Yeah.
I believe Deja Vu is black owned. I
think Choice FM.
What, Capital Extra?
Now Capital Extra. Yeah,
You sure?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. It might have. Hold on.
I'll check.
I mean, that would be amazing if that's the case.
Yeah, that'd be crazy because I've never heard that. Sorry. Yeah, I've never.
Yeah, it was historically the first black licensed radio station.
So that's free.
Black licensed and black owned.
That's what I was going to say.
I don't know if they're the same thing though.
What does black license mean then?
I have no idea.
That doesn't make much sense to me if it's not black owned.
Who owns Capital Extra? Global Media and Entertainment.
Because the people who license radio, I mean, I imagine that's I don't know, maybe a black person can do that. Maybe some black people in that position to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would need more clarity on that one.
No.
What?
It's not?
Yeah. Ashley Tabor King owns Global Media Entertainment and they own Capital Extra.
Okay.
But they could have bought it from Choice FM.
So maybe it's like the first
I don't know,
radio station that's
playing
predominant black music that is licensed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of them, even if they're not black owned, they very much got that grassroots feel. So obviously NTS, you got Represent, No Signal again, Worldwide FM. There's a few that have that grassroots feel of just wanting to present emerging talent in the UK as it pertains to black music, and outside of that, that means that in a way, I'm not really sure if whether they're black owned really matters. If the overall objective is to uplift the sort of people that in the scene that they see that they want to see more shine. If they're all working together, and I say all of them because they're all working towards a similar goal of this black radio ecosystem being really strong, which I think it is now.
Yeah.
They all serve the same purpose, and that is showcasing the artists that, are making waves in this country. So in that respect, like I say, the music scene has made the radio scene as strong as it is because it's given them options and it's uplifted people to be able to get into that position. Now, also, I want to say, I think the radio scene in general, when it comes to like the big establishments, they're seeing what's going on in the streets and they see what's going on at, I don't want to say littler radio stations, but, less known ones like the Represents and stuff. And they're seeing the people that are inhabiting that are basically the driving forces of those stations, hosting, broadcasting and all that. And they're taking those people and they're putting them in bigger platforms to be able to do what they're doing on a regular basis anyway. So it just means that everyone's watching and everyone's got their ears to the streets and they're making sure that everyone's being uplifted in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely does feel like a lot of people that are getting into radio are killing it. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like the purpose of radio a lot of the time historically has been to break artists. And I don't know how many radio stations in the UK do that today. And that's probably...
But are they breaking them because we already know them? Or because they still break them to the wider audience. Radio broke, like for example, say a Tion Wayne, who we all know. You could argue radio broke him to the wider audience, if that makes sense. So whilst we know these artists because we're from where they're coming from, the radio still plays its part to, I guess, the wider audience. And them.
See, I probably missed that. I probably am minimizing it a bit because I don't listen to radio and I haven't for years.
Neither do I.
Neither do I.
I mean, so I don't. I can't necessarily accurately speak on the impact of it.
No, because the reason why I said it because I remember when I used to work, with like years ago, we used to play the radio before we played our music. We used to play Capital Extra every day, and they used to play the UK black artists often, like way often before compared to when we was growing up. And it makes sense that why now we're selling the way we are, but because nothing's changed. We still make the same music. It's just radio is playing us a lot more.
Yeah,
but that's not breaking the artist, bro.
And I don't think they don't break artists to us, but they still break artists.
I don't think that's breaking the artist though, man.
Listen,
what's breaking the artist to you?
Breaking the artist is putting the public onto this particular
and
artist.
That's what they've done.
Yeah, but
just because we know them.
That's not what they've done. If the music is being played everywhere, radio have to play them. That's not breaking though. They've already been broken because of the club scene, because of the streets.
Then you can't break anyone anymore because of YouTube.
And
radio's always going to be behind it.
And that's why I ask whether like...
No, I think there's levels to
radio
this.
is still really relevant.
If that's the case...
There's levels to this. I think radio in a mainstream sense can break an artist to a wider audience. You know, people who are able to go on radio and premiere their tune for the first time in the world on radio.
Bro, who really does that now?
Loads of people, bro. Loads of people. Like BBC Radio 1, or just BBC Radio generally, they're premiering like DJ Target and people like that. They're premiering like artists and new songs from these artists every other day. Oh, weekly anyway.
I didn't know that's still a thing. I think
that's still a thing. That's still a thing, and that's important. And that's important because really and truly, when you're talking about, it depends on what type of radio you're talking about. So you're talking about, if you're talking about mainstream radio like BBC and stuff like that, where you know you're only really a casual listener, that's an artist being broken because you're catering to an audience that don't already know who the person is. Because the more often than not, they're not going to be music heads like us that know that they're popping already. They're not tuned to the streets. If you're talking about specialist radio like a No Signal, then yeah, they're going to know. So that's not necessarily breaking. So it very much depends on what area and what realm you fall in. Like the general public fall under the casual listener. They'll only listen to what's popular, so they'll only tune into certain radio stations. If you're a specialist listener, then you're already going to know who the artist is. So them going to mainstream radio is to you, not breaking an artist. So it really much depends on where you fly. The internet has more or less killed the idea of radio exposing and, I suppose, putting on new artists because, again, these artists can build their own audiences.
So can you break an artist then? If they've killed that?
Yeah. Well, again, radio can't. I don't think radio can to the same degree as they was. But, I mean, for me, growing up, SBTV and Grime Daily, they broke. Hold on. I think they were the ones that really broke artists more than radio.
They broke Ed Sheeran.
Precisely. That's why I don't know how relevant radio is today.
But then yes, I will put
and I would also even ask the question as to whether SBTV and Grime Daily are the new version of radio. Maybe not to the point of having presenters and that, but to the point of they put music out there, they play music, put videos out there as radio would, apart from the video side of things. So they're still presenting the music to the public.
They're tastemakers. They're the new tastemakers in that
Isn't
respect.
that a form of radio?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a form of radio, but it's just a form of exposure. I think all of it helps the artist. So internet helps, you know, SB and GRM freestyles will help, radio play will help. All of this helps. It takes a village, you know what I'm saying, sometimes. So in that respect, I agree with you to the point where the radio isn't as important in breaking these artists because more or less people already know who they are by the time they get there, depending on where you're at with it. But at the same time, I think radio does play a key role anyway in getting people, in keeping people's name in the conversation. So if you're Tion Wayne and BBC Radio 1 plays you week in, week out for like 6 weeks, keeps your name in rotation, keeps you known, keeps you on the top of the charts, keeps you recognized in that respect. So that is just as important as being put on by the radio. So in that respect, it still plays a very valuable role. And even if they're not the big boys like BBC, if you go to NTS and you have a core of people that you may have a personal relationship with and they're playing your music, then the other side might be paying attention to that as well, to where, okay, these men are playing this guy, they must know what they're talking about, let's play him too. So I think it all still helps.
I just feel like radio isn't really radio anymore. And forget the personalities. The personalities are great. They're doing what they need to be doing or what they should be doing. But I just don't feel like radio is really radio. I don't feel like there's not a need for me for radio anymore. Especially with the direct to consumer approach that most artists have these days. See, that I don't see what the point is.
You're right, because even
I mean?
earlier when I was like, I heard a new artist, I went to GRM to find out about him. Do you know what I mean? Because I know they might not be getting a radio play. So by the time they do get a radio play, I already know about them because of the SVTVs, the GRMs, the link ups. Do you know what I mean? So I've already got an avenue for new artists.
But by that point,
so you don't need to wait for the radio anymore to see what's popping.
Yeah. And to that point,
does that make sense?
Yeah, to that point, when by the time you get to the big boys of radio, you kind of already the finished article in a sense. Unless you're someone like an Annie who came onto the scene with Peng Black Girls, and ever since then, she's kind of been, anytime she has a new song out, it's going to get played on mainstream radio because it made such a splash. But that still happens. Obviously, as we've got our ears more to the streets and we're more accustomed to the idea of radio never really doing much for us anyway, we're going to go to the SBs, we're going to go to the GRMs, we're going to go to the mixtape madnesses anyway, because that's just our nature. for people who aren't like us, the radio's still important because it lets people know who is popping, who is the new generation, who are the new people.
See, I don't know, man.
No,
I just feel like hold on to that point. I feel like with the Grime Dailies again, they do radio's job for them. They make it easier for the radio to then play this artist. The radio for me, radios are not having now to keep their ears to the streets like that, or really do the work to seek and find new talent to break them. They don't need to do that anymore because all these different platforms online are doing that for them. So they can just go to these different websites, see who's hot, see, all right, cool. If I want to pull in this audience, I need to play this person. So it's not so much that they fuck with this person. It's more so to pull in the ears of a new demographic and more listeners that they're trying to obtain.
But to that point, there are more and more people like us inhabiting the places like BBC when they were at a Represent or a GRM to begin with. So to that respect, they are still having their ears to the streets because they have to, because that's how they made their bones. That's how they became names.
They can't have that delay anymore.
Yeah, exactly. There's not as much of a division between what's here and what's there because the people who were here are now over here.
Right.
So in that respect, they are still important because radio's psyche has kind of like shifted towards being able to take in and see what's good over there, bringing them in and making them more palatable to not only that audience, but also showing the general audience just what's popping in the scene generally. There's only so many times you can play, you know, kind of white music that you hear on radio all the time. Sometimes you got to switch it up, and that's where these people come into it. I hear what you're saying, but I think it all works in tandem. What happens underground, what happens in the streets informs what goes on on the radio. I think now more so than maybe a couple 10 years ago, let's say, especially since the scene has kind of blown up to where it is now. And I think with that, radio is developing in real time in accordance to that because they're seeing all the changes going on in the scene. They're seeing who's popping from the underground and becoming mainstream stars. And you kind of have to be in that circle and be in the know to be, you know, informed and play what's going on in the scene right now. So, you know, in that respect, I think it is still important. I mean, as someone who hasn't really listened to much radio anyway, I've never really seen that much of an importance for the reasons that you've stated.
Yeah.
But to take off my commentator hat and to put on an artist hat, radio is still going to be very, very important because even if you're an artist and you're dropping an album or dropping a single, let's just say you're dropping an album and the first single that you drop is going to be premiered on radio. It's a big look, bro, depending on where it's at. Like if it's Annie Mac doing it, Annie Mac is a respected name, white or black, in the scene, and her show on BBC is like prime time. That audience is priceless, bro. That's an audience that you will not get if you're just doing GRM every week. So in that respect, it's still important. But people are still catching up to what's going on over there.
No, I agree with what you said. And I think it's a weird one because we've never cared for radio. Like I've never sat on because I don't like them songs they play. So but then with the kind of Tion Wayne with Body go number one without radio play, because I'm sure radio playing that every day to the point it's drilled in people's heads.
It helped.
It must have helped to go number one. We wouldn't go number one as often as we do now without radio play. And I genuinely believe that because what's changed? The only thing that's changed over the last few years is radio has now caught up to our music. And now we are selling. That is a correlation that I think goes hand in hand. I don't think we sell without radio. Do you know what I mean? So I think we need them, but they also need us because we are the leading figure in music right now.
100%.
So it's a tricky one, man. One thing I've never understood, I just talk about radio, I know we're talking about music specifically, but why have we never, I don't care for interviews when radio people sit down with artists in the UK. I've never cared for it, whether it's UK or America. Why do you think that is? Whereas with America, I do, if that makes more sense.
Why?
Like I could watch, is it just because of the respect I have for the person? I don't know, but
yeah,
like,
I think
I could watch a Sway interview. I don't think I've ever watched a UK interview artist.
Do we have
like a Westwood? I've never watched Westwood interview. I used to just watch the freestyles.
Yeah, and on that, do we have the personality here that would pull you in to listen to the interview purely because of the personality? Whereas the States have Charlemagne,
Sway,
Envy, Sway, Joe Budden.
Big boy.
We don't necessarily have that person. I enjoy Julie Adenuga's interviews, but I get what you're saying, bro. we don't really have like that personality.
Yeah. Like how rushed, if I see Angie Martinez sitting with someone, I'm going to sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
Whereas with the UK, I've never had that love affair of any UK interviewer, ever.
It's probably because our scene is still relatively new as well, whereas Angie Martinez has been around for like 20 years.
She was there with Pac was alive, bro.
Do you know what I mean? So we've grown up with a lot of them, whereas the faces now in the UK and voices, we haven't grown up with them. We're still getting to know them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What's her name? And we saw her in Dawson the other day.
Who?
What's her name? I can't remember her name.
I remember you saying you guys did see something.
Oh, Clara Amfo.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I've grown up with her. I feel like I've known her for time. But I get what you're saying.
Do you know what
I enjoy her interviews. I like her style of interviewing.
Yeah, I think if we're just going to talk about hip hop real briefly, hip hop media in America is just, it balloons over us. They've got, not only have they got journalists, they've got media personalities, they've got the Charlemagnes, the Sways, the Ebros, the Angie Martinez's, people who've been doing this for eons. They've got personal relationships with pretty much every artist you can name. They're set in their game. They're very much there. They're vets. In this country, like you said, it's still in an embryonic stage to where we're not really there yet. And when it comes to interviews, it kind of goes two ways. I think the interviewer, unless they're Westwood because he's a bit mad, try their best to try and get something out of the interviewee. But I think the interviewee, more often than not, lets the interview down because they either ain't got a lot to say or they ain't got a lot of personality to hide the fact they ain't got nothing to say. So I think it's a mixture of things.
That's a deeper conversation as well, as far as personalities from some of our UK rappers, especially the young ones that are being interviewed. Because a lot of the interviewers are probably like, and Yemi's had experience with this, but I don't want to say too much because he might want to put it out there. But he's had experiences where it's like blood out of a stone sometimes. So maybe that is also a factor as to why you don't
they
necessarily
might have more personality over the States. But then no, because, and you know what I've always resented with UK radio? The people that used to put at the forefront. Okay, it's not the case now. Bro, I can't relate to a Westwood. I look at Charlie Slough.
Westwood's important.
No, Westwood
but they deserve credit though.
No, he does. But I guess the reason why also is because when I look at Westwood, I just think, no, we're not doing this. Your voice.
No, I get that though. That's fair.
Charlie Slough, we're not doing this.
That's fair.
I don't like you.
Yeah.
So it's like you put these two men, whether or not they were at the forefront. Charlie Slough was at one point, and Westwood was at one
specifically
point.
Talking about
yeah, the faces of the radio. Yeah, the faces of radio that cater to us, because Westwood was to us, Charlie Slough was for us. If I don't like the two faces that I'm seeing 9 times out of 10, it's not going to pull me to want to. Do you know what I mean?
Would we not say that Trevor Nelson was for us, even though he wasn't purely
hip hop
and grime?
He was a purely hip hop and grime, the way Slough and Westwood are. When I see Slough and Westwood, they're purely grime and rap, and it's like we're not doing this.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I don't like both of you. No,
because of how they move.
Because of how they move. Westwood, this ain't your life. Like at this point now, bro, you was here for Euros 1955.
He got shot by Yardies.
Yeah, but he was also alive in 1950. Like, chill out. Charlie Slough. Do you know what I mean? It's
but Westwood's important, though.
He is, but it's also
Slough is important too.
Yeah, they are, but I guess the personalities of them, because I don't fuck with them, their personalities. It's always kind of with the radio scene. I've always been like, no, I can't do it.
This sounds like a you problem, Mo.
No, I genuinely think I genuinely think a lot of people in the UK, one of the reasons why they don't go to radio or listen to radio is because Slough and Westwood are at the face of it.
Westwood was always corny to me, but he was still bearable because of what he was doing.
Because of the content.
Yeah, because he would still bring Marvel Crew, Gets to freestyle. So I could put up with him, but as far as his actual personality, I didn't really care for it. I just always thought he was corny. Yeah. I feel like Charlie Slough is corny as well.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't pay attention to his fire in the booths as well. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because if they sit down for an interview, you're not going to watch it.
Probably not, no.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like, what's his name? Amaru Don TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. I like his interviews, his style of interviewing. I think we need more of that.
SK Vibe Maker. There's others. I mean, he's white, but DJ Double, but he's cool. He's not corny with it.
Logan Sama, I like him.
Logan Sama's done a few.
I used to like him quite a bit.
He used to have a few freestyles.
There's a few. So I get what you mean about the personalities. That aspect of radio, I don't think is as important. I think more so what's important is the fact that the music's being played.
I think the face matters. I think if Charlie Slough was always at the forefront of what UK grime on the radio, do you know what I mean? It's so hard. Do you get what I mean?
But at the same time,
I think people look at it and be like,
but at the same time,
can't be representing her. Like,
cool, but the artists are still going over there and seeing and going and freestyling on Fire in the Booth and going to a crib session with Westwood because they know what the look is. So in a way, I think the fact that they come on continues to validate these Slough and Westwood. So we can't be mad too much at how they operate. Because let's be real here, Westwood has been putting in the work and he has been doing the same thing, acting the same way for pretty much 4 decades. And it's got him this far, Sloth as well. Yeah. So it's got to be working for him. Whether you like it or not, that's obviously down to you. Some people might like that stuff. You never know, bro. So
I'm yet to find a black person that likes it.
I mean, listen, we could probably take a survey
somewhere. I've never found someone that likes Westwood's antics.
And that's fair. I mean, listen, he's
exactly.
He's nasty.
But how important is his personality if he's helping?
This is what I'm saying.
Bridge the gap to the US, because he was quite important in doing that as well.
Yeah, but his personality is important.
He brought Biggie down for his first UK show.
No, I'm just saying I'm just what music. What I'm saying, but also maybe one of the reasons why we don't look to interviews is because of the faces we have.
Don't say we, because there's a lot of people that do.
Okay, me personally.
Okay.
Maybe one of the reasons why I don't care for the interviews in the UK, I look at UK radio, is because Westwood was always a face.
But he's not the only one, bro.
I want to pick on these two.
If you're trying to find radio that you actually enjoy for the people,
yeah, like
the
no signal and
then
no signal and even not for the radio.
Not for the radio.
Not for the radio's epic as well.
Yeah.
Like their sit downs are 10.
Yeah.
Usually their sit downs are great.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but again, that comes down to more and more black voices becoming premier voices and becoming uplifted and becoming more out there. I think because Westwood and then later Sloth held a monopoly for so long, because that was the only way really and truly that black music was palatable to a lot of people. We had to go through that bullshit basically. Whereas now we don't have to as much anymore. And that speaks to how strong radio is now.
Yeah.
The fact that more and more people like us are able to get in there and not pump fake or be anything they're not, but be authentic and bring on the artists that we would enjoy and will later make the transition to become mainstream darlings or, more noticeable in the mainstream anyway.
I like that.
I think that was my last point about Sloth and Westwood deserving credit.
Yeah.
Because they do. They do. You may not like them.
I will never take away from them. I'm just saying I didn't like that they were the face, and I guess that kind of put me off.
I just spoke to the time though. I don't think necessarily. I'm not mad at them being the faces. It's the way they acted.
Yeah, yeah.
Because obviously, like I said, black music is still very much a new phenomenon in this country.
Yeah, same mate.
And as it pertains to national radio, Trevor Nelson, Jenny Francis, and a few Mr. Jam and a few others aside, there weren't that many black faces that were really at the same level. So especially when it comes to rap, they kind of filled in a gap. The only problem is they move like wastemen more time. So, but it is what it is. So in conclusion, I would say that UK black radio is in a good spot. And shout out to Birmingham as well, because obviously Birmingham is still like very much grime country. They're still represented in that respect, and I imagine they are so on the radio sets as well. Shout out to them as well. But I think, man, I think it's only going to get better with time, man. As more and more organizations and radio stations and broadcasters come up and do their thing, it's only going to get better for the scene, man. And as the music scene itself gets better, as will the radio scene. So that's
me. I mean, you guys have definitely kind of made me change my view a bit, because I was kind of with the belief that don't need radio. But I can see it's important. Yeah,
it's definitely important. Yeah. It's like it's like part of like I said, it's part of an artist campaign. Radio is still very important because that's how you get that support that leads to more streams, more attention. Maybe you get bigger, venues for your tour and stuff. So when you're getting, playlisted on a radio show like BBC playlist or Represent playlist, all that stuff matters, man. So it still plays a good role. It's part of the jigsaw of what an artist seeks and what makes an artist a full package. So for that, it'll always be important. It'll complement the artist more than not. So yeah, let's move on to the next topic, guys. So now what we're going to talk about is the cosign. Now, for those who don't know what the cosign means, the cosign is basically the act of putting someone on. So that could be an established rapper putting on a new school rapper, or, featuring a new school rapper on their tune, or whatever that form that may take. Now, there have been various forms of it over the years. Some have debated whether it still matters or not. So that's what we're going to do today. We're basically going to debate whether the cosign in rap is still important and if it still matters, and how a cosign might take shape and how it stays relevant, basically.
I was listening to Fab today.
Great start.
And I knew these bars before because I'd listened to this particular song quite a few times. But he had a bar where he was like, let's talk about how I'm killing everything I touches, or how I walked up in the game with no crutches. No Diddy, no Dupree, no Dr. Dre, no Cash Money from Baby, no Rocks from Jay.
Here we go.
So when you think about it, yeah, it's rare. There was a point in time when it was very rare where you'd see an artist come into the game and it wasn't like a massive artist that co-signed them. Nowadays, though, for me, I don't think it's as prominent as it once was. It still helps, no doubt, and it always will help. But for the US, you don't really see it as much these days. You see a lot of artists coming out of nowhere. And then they put out a tune, and then a big artist might remix the tune. But I think the artist remixes the tune once it's already big a lot of the time. In Drake's case, for instance, he's done it a few times where the song's bubbling and he's helped it take it to another level. So, I don't know, do you want to call that a cosign?
Yeah, I think that's a cosign. I think, because I was going to mention Chief Keef, because Kanye hopped on the I Don't Like remix. That was 100% a cosign, because obviously Chief Keef was bubbling in the streets and stuff. But once you get that Kanye West seal of approval, like this is the guy. Because essentially when someone does that, you're basically telling us this is the guy. I mean, not in Block Boy JB's case, but basically, more often than not, they're telling you, I'm glad you got it though. More often than not, they're telling you this is the guy to look out for. So in that respect, I think spiritually that is a bit of a cosign. I think I agree with you. I think now the cosign is rarer because
it though, or we just don't know about it?
No, we know about it because based on what Yemi just said, it still happens quite a bit because you get bare artists remixing songs.
Yeah, but I'm not talking just the remixing part of the cosign.
But I think that's the cosign that happens more now, more than an artist saying, "Yo, look out for this guy, he's amazing."
I think the cosign that happens now is if we don't know about it. Like, say for example,
if we don't know about it, then they cosign. Then
what if they sign to a record label?
I mean, you can still cosign someone,
and that's what I'm saying. And then, like for example, say Little Baby who signed to QC, and say if I didn't know that, and then when he come out, he's got a song, but then QC's behind it, and then the Migos are pushing it, and everyone's pushing it, even though they're not on it, there's still a cosign, right?
No, I don't think that's a cosign. I don't think that's a cosign.
I think that's a cosign. If you sign to QC and Migos and everyone's pushing your song, I think that's a cosign.
It's not a cosign, but it is.
I don't think you need a song
because of how
co-sign
successful that label has been. You will tune into that artist, but I don't think I wouldn't say that's a cosign though, because there were bare artists that signed to Death Row that you would look at on the strength of Death Row, but
exactly.
But I don't think that's a cosign,
bro.
though.
The minute you're side by side with someone, to me, that's a cosign. Like, yo, I'm with him. I've rocked with
Suge Knight signed P.E. Pablo.
Yeah, but he co-signed P.E. Pablo then.
Well, I'm thinking more so from an artist to artist cosign rather than a label to artist cosign. So I pose another question to you. Jay-Z does his end of year playlist of whatever he's enjoying. Let's say he puts NLE Chopper on there. Is that a cosign?
On a playlist?
On his playlist?
I don't count it as a cosign.
I don't count it as a cosign.
Because I would argue that is. Because that's him basically saying, this guy is dope. I'm putting him on my playlist because he is dope, sort of thing. And when Jace does something like that, we listen.
I don't think that's a cosign though. When I see a cosign, it's physically, I guess, someone next to you. Whether it's be a song, whether it be, I guess, someone signing you and then the other people in the artist by your side, you've always got someone next to you that is like, yo, this is it here. This is the future or this is now or whatever. I don't think you get that from a playlist. To me, a playlist is just a 2020. Do you know what I mean? It's just a new thing.
But
if you put a playlist in 2004.
But if Jay puts you on that playlist and then your streams go up exponentially, that could be seen as a cosign. And I think in 2021, that might be a modern version of what a cosign is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, because a cosign, because again,
if someone posts your song, is that a cosign then?
Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah.
If someone just posts your song on Instagram, that's a cosign.
If you make a tune and Drake posts it, puts it on his stories, that is a cosign.
Yeah, I think if we're looking at it.
So this is what I was saying then. This is exactly my point. So if the Migos and everyone posted Little Baby the minute he signed to QC, they've now co-signed him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So therefore, if we can't, it's hard to escape. I didn't think you need it as much anymore.
But people can do it. People can go through the game and not get co-signed. It's clear.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just spat a Fab verse to you. He's a great example. He didn't really have a co-sign. He was with DJ Clue. But that weren't really DJ Clue weren't like
he was still Clue though.
Yeah, but
Clue was still known.
It's not the same.
Didn't Clue have a number one mixtape or some stupid shit like that?
He was hot in the streets.
In what universe did he have a?
Yeah, the number one mixtape.
He was hot in the streets.
He definitely had the number one mixtape.
But he didn't really have like Bro, if I was gonna start rapping now and I went to the States, like, and Clue was like, "Yo, this guy's nice," I'm not taking it as, "Yo, Clue's co-signing
but
me."
that's still a co-sign.
I don't know, man.
That's still bro. It's Clue.
You know what it is?
Did Clue matter?
There's varying degrees,
Did
innit?
Clue matter?
I think that Clue co-signing you might not necessarily manifest in as much as a Drake co-signing you. And I think that's where the difference is. If Drake co-signs you, you can visibly see your success going up, whether that's streams, followers, attention, mainstream attention, media attention. You can see, and you can see it in your hands.
Drake's how I found out about Dave.
Exactly.
Literally,
there you go.
How I found out about
there you
Dave.
go. Whereas Clue, he might put you onto a producer, or he might put you onto another rapper, and that might be something, but that's not for us to know, because obviously we're not going to know. Whereas someone like a Jay or Drake is putting you on their socials, or they're putting you on a playlist, and you can see your growth from that. There's a difference there.
I don't know, man.
So where Clue may still be a cosign, but I don't think it's as strong a cosign as it would be a bigger artist, basically.
Yeah. But I still look at that Clue as a cosign.
I don't think we do cosigns here, though.
We do.
I don't think so. I don't think the cosign is half as important as it is in America. Because we've established so many artists that haven't been able to get a cosign. And who's going to really do the cosign?
But is that just a new generation?
Skepta has a lot recently. Young Ads, Slow Tie.
But is that a cosign though? If Young Ads is already out here, that's not a cosign. Just
but you don't necessarily have to be.
But at some point you must reach a level and it's like, yo, if you rap with this guy.
Yeah, but you do realise that there are still people that wouldn't have heard of Young Ads before he hooked up with Skepta.
But Young Ads is still Young Ads, right?
Yeah, but at the same time,
they sold out Ali Pali in what, 2 minutes? But so he's still someone.
But he's still putting Young Ads onto certain audiences.
So at some point, do you outgrow
of course you do.
At what point do you outlive a cosign?
Bro, you can get cosigned at any point.
I'm saying, at what point does your career not linger on a cosign?
But Young Ads is not lingering on a.
That's
Young
Ads
is not.
Young Ads' career was solidified.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that his career depended on the cosign. I'm saying that the cosign happened in spite of whatever success he was having before then. Anyway, it's a bonus.
I feel you.
A cosign isn't always.
When I look at a cosign, if I don't know you and I see this guy standing next to you, like, okay, this guy solidified you. Like, for example, Dave. I didn't know Dave. So if someone asked me, how do you find out about Dave? I'll be like, yo, Drake co-signed him, and then that's how I heard him. Young Ads, the reason why I don't look at that as a co-sign is because Young Ads' career was already solidified for what it is. Does that make sense?
Yes, but a career does not depend on a cosign, or it shouldn't anyway. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So with Young Ads, again, he was established. Skepta co-signing him, it's kind of like an icing on the cake. Whereas in a Dave's instance, that is the cake.
That's what I'm saying to you. And then I guess the way I look,
and he's outgrown that now.
Yeah, 100%. But I guess just the way I look at a cosign is if you're known or not. I feel like at some point I feel like if you sold out Ali Pali in 2 minutes, I can't look at Skepta rapping with you and saying that's still a cosign. Do you get what I mean?
I get what Mo's saying. The cosign means different things depending on your status.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Yeah, I don't think it's a cosign when you're at a certain point.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't think you can class that as a cosign. So if Jay decides to do a tune with Little Baby now, that's not a cosign to me. Because Baby's scorching right now.
But again, I don't
The Baby or Little Baby, whichever baby you want.
I think it's still a cosign because you're still putting your name next to someone who you believe is dope. It doesn't necessarily mean that.
So do you think Cole signed Lil Baby?
Who?
Cole? Yeah.
I'm not classing that as a cosign.
But wouldn't it be similar to the Skepta thing then? Young Ads thing?
I don't think that's that's not a cosign.
I'm asking Yemi. That's why I'm asking Yemi. I'm just saying
I'd say so.
You class Cole.
Because I'd say Kendrick and Rich the Kid, I'd say that's a cosign. Because it's too, especially in that example where.
Was Rich the Kid hot?
He just had that one song.
He was
sizzling.
That's a cosign.
I'd say that's. Listen, I would say again, it does depend on the level, but I think anytime a big artist is featuring someone who maybe not as big, but is still big in their own right, you can still class that a cosign.
I think it depends on where that person is in their career.
Which is fair.
Like the Little Baby one, the perfect analogy. Little Baby's the hottest rapper in the world right now. I wouldn't class that.
But he can still get a cosign, bro. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that's a cosign. To me, that's just two rappers rapping with each other. It's just younger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if he made a song with, say he made a song with YBN, then I'll get it maybe a little bit because YBN isn't Corday and Cole made a song. Then I'll get it. because it's like cool.
Cordae's still
Cordae's
out there as well.
He is, but I guess it's a tricky one, man.
But my thing is, again, I'm not solely looking at a cosign as, you know, you're putting me on.
You're putting me on, yeah.
As just you're just putting me on because I was an unknown. You can cosign. Like,
There's many ways to do a cosign.
There's many ways to do a cosign. Like Fetty Wap, for instance. Fetty Wap had Trap Queen and he had My Ways. He was the biggest artist of that year. And then he got
Drake.
Kanye on side. He got Drake on side, sort of thing.
Yeah, because Drake definitely co-signed Fetty. And Fetty had a bigger song one of the biggest songs in the country.
I mean, Drake's been doing that a lot recently. Like Drake arguably co-signed Lil Baby on, was it Yes Indeed?
Yeah.
There you go. So there are different ways.
Drake. That's what Drake does. He finds someone and then...
Yeah.
Can you, man, think of an artist that would have still gone the trajectory that they went to when they got a cosign without a cosign?
Dave. I think Dave.
You think Dave
I
would
think
still...
I think Dave's career... Wanna Know was still a big song and then he had Thiago Silva. So I think what Dave was going there anyway. I think Drake just knew that.
Yeah, Dave was a good
Do you know what I
one.
mean? I think Dave regardless. But then...
Trying to think.
Getting back to the question, I think cosign matters now. I don't think cosign... Like, did Stormzy have a cosign?
No, but he's a plant.
Ooh.
Oh, hard. You want to get into it? You just leave it there. Just leave it as a plant.
Big up, Don't Alert the Stands. They were asking the question as to whether her was a plant, and they were raising some interesting
Some good points.
Yeah,
Swear.
man. And I think her is amazing.
We're going to talk about this.
I don't think she's a plant.
I didn't know
when
people
you
said
think
that.
when you think about what a plant is, fam.
I think I might have seen that. Was that on Twitter?
Yeah, it's looking shaky, baby.
Yeah, I want to have a conversation with you as
Big
well.
up, don't alert the stands. They're doing good stuff.
I want to chat to you as well because I heard, you know, this white boy, RD, whatever he's
RD.
I heard he's a plant. And I feel like you...
Where'd you hear that from?
The streets.
The streets.
And I feel like you can let me know about that, but I heard it.
I'm not, listen, bro, I'm not the industry correspondent you think I am.
Hey, man.
For us, you are.
Yeah, but I can't answer that question.
Okay,
I don't know.
cool, my bad. I heard he's a little bit of a plant in it.
I mean, listen, I'm not mad at that because obviously the first major move he makes is on a number one.
And
song.
now he's got number 7.
Do you know what though? To that though, I feel like the cosign makes it easier for your planted waves to really bear its fruits. You know,
If that's what, 100%,
Okay, yeah.
100%.
So to that point, on the Body remix, do you think Tion and Russ, or to a more extent Tion, was co-signing RD? Or do you think it was just two rappers
I
rapping?
think Tion definitely co-signed RD.
Cool.
Because I knew about RD because of Insta. I've never listened to an RD song before in my life before I listened to that song. Tion definitely co-signed him. And same, but then if you ask me when H made that Keisha Becky song with what's his face? Russ
and Tion, yeah.
I don't think that was a co-sign. I think Russ and my man were on the same level.
Well, that was the first time I'd heard H. So
Yeah.
I probably classed that a cosign.
Did you know Russ before that?
Oh yeah, of course. Gunley.
Oh, okay, yeah, then that's a co-sign. Because I forgot, I didn't know Gunley was made before that.
Yeah,
If Gunley was made before that, because Gunley tried and everything, then yeah, that's a co-sign.
It was around the same time, I think.
I just don't class. I think if you're at a certain level, I look at it, what can that person do for you as a co-sign? Does that make sense? And when Lil Baby and Cole jump on the same song together, to me, it don't move the needle for Lil Baby. All it does is make, which isn't true though, then, because you said you want to listen to Lil Baby off the back of that verse.
This is what I was going to say.
No, 21 Savage.
So did he co-sign 21 Savage?
But this is what I was going to say.
No, because...
But it means you want to go listen to him.
Yeah, but that's not a cosign because I'm late. So that's just me catching up. I just heard something impressive because of the collaboration, but I don't count Cole and 21 doing a song as a cosign. Even though Cole is at a crazy level, 21 Savage of his generation is still like, do you know what I mean, respected. So I wouldn't say that's a cosign.
I guess it just boils down to what your perception is. Like, obviously, in another way of saying that, Cole kind of put you on to how good Savage is.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
There you go. Whereas Cole may put people on, like Cole heads and hip hop heads, onto the fact that Baby can go one-on-one with one of the GOATs of the scene right now and hold his own sort of thing. So it just depends on your perception.
Is it still important though?
On many levels, yes.
You think co-sign's still important?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps you. It can help your bag. It can help your status in the game.
It depends what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Because you can come into the game online, make music, receive critical acclaim online, and just continue on that trajectory of making just great music. And, you know, you're a touring artist, you make a lot of money from your different tours and shows and shit, and you just continue gaining respect. And it just depends on what you want to do. Because if that's what you're okay with, then the cosign isn't important. I think maybe to take you to another level, because just doing that may not get you the attention of being nominated for a Grammy, whereas probably a cosign would, because the cosign will bring in an audience that you didn't have before. And that will then push you to the faces of the committees that, you know, nominate these albums for Grammys.
Yeah, me.
I wish.
No, you are part of a committee though.
Not the Grammys though.
No, but just in the UK, you're part of committees.
Yeah, but not in the same way. Like we didn't.
Just accept it.
Just accept it, bro. You're part of a committee. You are them
Yes,
now.
I was part of a committee.
You are them now.
But
so,
there's,
so I want you to know when we do the next award show in the UK,
I need to defend myself here.
If something's
I
not
need to defend
selected,
myself here.
We're blaming you,
we're
fam.
blaming you.
No, see, you can't do that because the long list, and I'm spilling some tea right now, but the long list is essentially, we have the objective of whittling down the long list to the short list. We have no input into what the long list is. We're given a bunch of names that the people upstairs have decided, and we got to whittle it down.
So you're on a committee of mobiles, right?
Yes.
The Brits.
Yes.
And what else?
I was the AIM Awards last year.
Are you listening to this guy? What else?
I think that's it,
So you're part of the Brits, the mobiles, and the AWOLs, but you're not my correspondent.
I don't know if RD is an industry plant. That's what if that's what you're getting at. That's all. But yeah, I agree with Pete. I think in the respect of like, an internet critical darling that, might necessarily, who might get a cosign, but that's not the goal. Cool. Whereas I think a lot of rappers and a lot of artists are aiming for the cosigns that will take them to another place. Whether that happens organically or not. And there have been numerous examples of like cosigns helping take an artist to another level. Big Sean, for instance.
Yeah.
Kid Cudi, for instance. And people like that.
Cole. The whole
Kendrick to an extent.
All of
Drake,
Nicki,
all of them.
all of them.
No, but with Kendrick though, I think he was always going there, man. With whether
No, we'll just say that Cole side.
that Dr. Dre thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
Nah, man. I just feel like
That Cole
I feel like
bro,
Dre.
that
definitely helped.
I feel like Dre jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah, but that helped, bro.
It helped.
Did it help?
Yeah, because he don't sign artists as well.
helped.
Because of Dre, it's Dre as well. He don't.
Did Dre sign him?
Yeah,
He dropped Good Kid on Aftermath, I think.
yeah, he did. I'm sure Dre signed him. That was the whole.
And
thing.
again, like Section 80, who really knows who Kendrick Lamar is by that point? That what I'm saying?
Streets.
Yeah.
So
We did.
that's what I mean. And to the point where Good Kid is his major label debut, whereas Section 80 was his debut, although that's disputed. Like that just shows, to me, I read between the lines. That kind of shows that, okay, we're now on a point now where we are major and we can drop a debut album for the whole scene rather than, Peter and his minions. You know what I'm saying? So, in that respect, he was put on in a sense and he was co-signed. You can even go back in time to where, people like the Native Tongues, Q-Tip was really good at, he co-signed, Dilla.
Yeah.
I mean, Della Soul co-signed Tip. Della Jungle Brothers co-signed Tip. Tip co-signed people like Queen Latifah, Only Love, and people like that. Even Mos Def and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was a whole ecosystem of collaboration and mutual respect to the point where, no one's signing anyone, but the respect is there.
You'd be hard pressed to find an artist that hasn't received some form of cosign. Like Biggie co-signed Jay, Nas was co-signed by the various producers that he worked with on, Illmatic, as well as, MC Search and that, and Large Professor. There's bare co-signs, but in the UK specifically though, I'm not gonna say that, bruv, because like Kano, I don't recall a cosign there. He clashed. I found out about Kano. Hold on to that. I found out about Kano because of the clash with Wiley. That's not a cosign. I just was recognizing talent there.
Yeah.
But with Getz, I got introduced to Getz because of Kane.
Yeah, same.
I think behind the
But
scenes,
still,
though,
that wasn't a cosign.
That's
though.
definitely a cosign.
I think,
No, it was just a collaboration.
But that's a cosign though.
but behind the scenes,
Oh,
though,
you just say there were two rappers. Did you know Kano at that point?
Wiley was doing a lot behind the scenes. He was co-signing a lot of these guys by taking them to studio, telling them they can rap or they need to focus on this, focus on that. So in a sense, that's why he kind of gets the Godfather thing, because he was helping so many of these artists: Chip, Tiny, Ice Kid, Kano, Skep, JME, all these people. So they probably, if you ask them, they probably say, yeah, he kind of put me on in that respect. Wretch and Avelino.
I was thinking about that as well.
And Chip
That's
and
clear.
Rich.
It's nuanced, isn't it? There's
you look
there's
at Chip and
variant,
Rich?
there's details in it. You can't. I'm not just gonna say that's a cosign. That's not. It may on the eyes appear as though it is, but you got to break it down sometimes.
Wretch and Av is definitely
a
had you heard of Av before the?
That's a cosign.
That's a cosign.
Yeah.
That's a cosign. But I don't know if I'm gonna say Kane and Getz is though.
What about
I'm not sure about.
What about Rich and Chip?
No. You could what? You mean Chip co-signed Rich?
No, Rich co-signed Chip.
No, but
because I knew Rich before I knew Chip.
Rich signed to Chip.
What's that?
I'll
Reg
tell you what.
signed to Chip.
Yeah, but before that, they were on Westwood freestyling with each other. Way before he restarted.
Okay, that's not a cosign.
To me, I knew Reg.
We're not about to do. We're not about to say Reg co-signed Chip.
No,
Stop.
don't ever say he signed to Reg. I don't like the way
he
that came
did.
out. Yeah, but I don't like the way that came out of your mouth. You're talking out the side of your mouth.
But he did.
No, but you're talking out the side of your mouth when you say it.
Listen, I think that the whole scene co-signed Chip.
Okay.
Everyone had a hand in that. I think up until
don't do that.
up until Chip Diddy Chip. Listen, you could argue Wretch, you could argue Getz, you could argue Devlin. These are the people that he rapped with on Fuck Radio. For someone who was like what 16, 17 at the time,
man. When I saw him standing next
up
to
against
Reg,
Olders,
when I saw him standing next
that's
to
a
Reg,
cosign, bro.
Fair enough.
That's a cosign. So I think the whole scene had something to do with that.
Yeah.
I still think it's less like prevalent.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think nowadays Skepta is the king of that because he's collabed with Slow Tie. He's gonna collab with Banda K and Double L's. Octavian.
Is he really?
Yeah. And there was a couple others as well. So he's kind of on that heady. So he's kind of on that wave as well. So I think
At what point? Sorry, At what point is co-signing a form of attempting to stay relevant?
Drake.
it
I
is.
wasn't going to say that.
Drake, his whole blueprint is staying relevant by co-signing.
He didn't even let me land.
He didn't let you land.
That's his whole blueprint.
You're still in the air.
This guy made a song in Spanish to co-sign a Spanish singer.
No, don't do that, man. Because Drake is still going to be Drake without co-signing these bomb-ass rappers.
No. But what did you say to stay relevant? Drake will still stay Drake, but Drake is relevant with number one songs. And if he gets that by co-signing a Fetty Wap, do you want me to go through the list? This guy co-signed from Fetty Wap to Dave to Bad Bunny to I don't know who else, bro. Do you know what I mean? That's
But you know
Skepta,
Drake.
Block Boy JB,
Georgia Smith,
Block
But
Boy
you know-
JB.
Dave.
But you know Drake takes that from like Jay though. That's straight from Jay-Z's handbook.
What co-signed to stay relevant?
Yeah, 100%. You align yourself next to hot shit.
Not at this rate though, man.
Because that's what, when Jay was rapping and he had all them Philadelphia rappers, bruv, he was absorbing all that energy, bruv. He'll tell you himself. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's an interesting point though.
No, it's definitely a thing.
Because we rarely look at the flip side of the cosign. We rarely look at the person that's doing it and like, oh, I wonder what they're getting from it.
I think more often than not, it's calculated. Very, very calculated. I think what brings them to the dance is a love of what someone is doing. Unless like they come through and their first song is a hit, aka a Block Boy JB. I mean, clearly that was, I don't know what that was, but I don't know if that was pure love of what Block Boy is doing.
Relevancy.
Has Drake even said the words Block Boy JB since? You know what I'm saying? So with that was clear that was just like, okay, I'm going to hop on this thing. It's going to go wild because I'm on it. Very much calculated. And I mean, if we're going to dig into Drake a little bit more, this whole UK thing is calculated. Like I've said.
Don't do this,
Like I've said. But let me just know. You know why I say that though? Because it's become a topic again. I think it was 9 Bills that basically had it was a clip going around on Twitter and people were debating about Drake and how important his contributions are to the UK and shit. And a lot of people believe that he put on a lot of people and without him, they wouldn't have been as big and stuff like that. And people just got to remember that it was calculated, bro. Like, as much as he has a love for it, which I'm sure in a lot of the examples that he has co-signed people, he's got a genuine love for the artists and what they're doing. There has to be an upside for him.
But what if there's not?
There is, bro.
Yeah, but what if there's not?
But there is.
But what if there's not?
Can you think of it?
Bro, Drake is gonna.
But who will not benefit from jumping on the hottest track alive? The hottest track
Drake
at the
don't
time.
need it though.
Yeah, but it's not that he
He
needs
doesn't
it.
need
No, but
it.
he
But
does.
he wants it.
But he doesn't need it.
Yeah,
though.
but he
wants
wants it.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is whether he does it or not,
And
Drake
why would-
is still Drake.
But
Yeah.
without all of these songs, would his run have lasted? It's irrelevant.
Yes.
If Drake did not hop on every hot
But bro,
Drake's
there's a
run
reason
has
why-
been for a decade, and there's a reason why. Because Drake's a master at if something's hot, I'm jumping on it to co-sign it, right? We don't know if his run would have been lasting if he did not co-sign every single one of these songs.
And to the point of Drake, yes, Drake is going to be Drake. But the fact that we're now debating the fact that without him, a lot of these UK artists wouldn't even be a thing, helps Drake.
I disagree with that though. I disagree with Drake's cosign being that important for our scene.
But a lot of people feel like it is. And that's the thing. That's how his name stays in the conversation. And we're not even talking about the American scene. We're talking about the UK scene. Yeah, sure, he put a couple people on songs and stuff, but you could argue the levels of which they were relevant up until that point to a worldwide audience, especially in the case of Skepta and Gigs. But again, that's how his name stays in the conversation. Outside of just the run and the hit record, it's what you've done to uplift people. And that's what it all boils down to with this whole UK debate thing.
So do you reckon he co-signed? Sorry, do you reckon he co-signed gigs?
No,
Okay, I'm just checking.
but to people who are
In the
outside of
States,
us,
yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, more. Look, listen. I'm not going to completely bash Drake.
Oh,
Clearly, more.
aren't ya?
Clearly, more people are
They don't know him
listening.
behind the scenes. innit?
Clearly, more people were listening to Skepta and Gigs as a result. Fair,
But it's
that's
still
only
Skepta,
natural.
yeah.
But where this conversation becomes a bit murky is you saying that without Drake, these men were nothing.
That's
Which is what a lot of
that's
people are
flagrant.
suggesting.
That's flagrant.
So that's where I have a problem. Because people need to be careful with their words, bro. They need to be careful with their words.
Listen, man.
But then if someone says that, you already know where their knowledge is at. So
True.
We're gonna need a part 2 because I'm not done here, man.
Well, to finish this off, who do we think are like kind of the kings of co-signing?
Drake,
Obviously Drake,
Jay,
Jay, Wayne.
No one's ever really cared
Wayne.
for a Nas cosign. I'm not, just saying.
He can't even find his own producer. Wayne. This guy needs to co-sign a producer before he co-signs.
Because he co-signed Dave East, but I don't think it done much for Dave East.
But that's the thing, though. That's how much a co-sign matters. I listened to Dave East because of Nas, but it didn't move no needle for
See,
him.
I didn't.
I genuinely only went to Dave East because, and now fuck with Dave East, KD, all of that. He got songs, but I guess you're right. It didn't move the needle at all.
Yeah, Kanye, just the big wigs, innit? Kanye, Dre,
Rick Ross, Wale,
Carly,
Meek.
Cole's got a few
but
co-signs.
that was a while ago.
Stale.
Man. That was a while ago, though, man.
I mean, even still, that's still two very weighty names.
J. Cole,
You know what I'm saying? No.
Kendrick. Did you give him the TDE one?
Q-Tip.
Did you give Kendrick the TDE artist as a co-sign or no?
Nah.
Okay.
Gucci?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'd say he's up there too.
Yeah, he's up there. He's up there.
For sure.
That's a good shot.
Maybe Young Thug?
Nah.
No?
Nah, because
He brought through my man.
Yeah.
Who's the young Don that's with him?
Today or back in the day?
Gunna.
Yeah, he did. He gave Gunna money back in the day as well when he was a kid.
But didn't he like help?
He helped him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah,
so-
yeah, he helped him.
Yeah, I don't know if I put Thug in that bracket,
Birdman?
but no one will sign to Birdman because he don't
What,
pay his he don't pay his
Ju-
artists.
BG
but
and
then
Juvenile?
You don't think Birdman co-signed a lot of people?
Back then, yeah, but not now.
I was just talking in general though.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm just talking in general. Oh, now he robbed you.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
But yeah, anyone could be in that conversation, man. If you've been around for like more than like maybe like 4 or 5 years and you've been hot, your cosign will matter.
But sometimes a co-sign can turn into a chase to stay relevant.
And sometimes a cosign might be too weighty for you to deal with,
To the point where
i.e. Memphis Bleak and
I was
Jay-Z.
just about to say that because Jay said
Block
he
Boy
can rap better than
JB.
me.
Block Boy JB. To the point where you're only ever known for the cosign, which is a dead zone that you don't ever want to be in as an artist. But again, that just goes down to you were never really able to move the needle and connect in a way that your promise and the cosign suggested.
I think. Can you guys think of when a cosign went wrong?
Memphis Bleak.
Memphis Bleak.
I was thinking of
Source Money.
Jeezy and Freddie Gibbs
Oh yeah, in that respect.
because
yeah.
it didn't do nothing for Gibbs. Gibbs had to then re-establish it.
I didn't even know that he co-signed him.
Yeah,
I didn't even know-
it was signed to it.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Yeah, that's the one. If that, that didn't do nothing for me.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think that's all really.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stanley didn't go nowhere after that Rick Ross co-sign.
Not at all.
Yeah, Stanley.
He had a couple decent projects.
His
Though.
pill didn't move.
Peter is the only one that listened to those projects.
You listen to Stanley's projects?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stanley stopped moving.
I don't even know why that's something you would. I don't even know why that's something you would admit to people.
No,
know
but
what I'm
I
saying?
liked Stanley, man. Stanley was.
No,
he
he's
was
the
decent.
fuck. No, he's
Stanley
the,
was decent.
No, he was meant to be
he
the
was,
guy.
He was meant to be the
decent.
rapper.
He was decent.
He was meant to be the rapper.
Yeah.
And then Wale just
Ace Hood.
bodied. Oh, Ace Hood.
Bugatti bangs.
Boy.
Hustle Hard was a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was everywhere.
Yeah, man. Wayne and Rick Ross, I guess, did co-sign, but that was more because of Khaled as well. But
Yeah.
French Montana.
what is it? Co-sign?
Diddy, Ross, they co-signed him.
Yeah, they co-signed French Montana.
I guess it depends.
I'm not giving him that, man. French.
He's been
French,
successful.
French was like bubbling, man.
I knew French back then, but that's a co-sign because French was underground. French Diddy was definitely
What was French's biggest or first like?
Ultra Cinco, and that was with when Diddy and the man bust him.
Okay.
Ultra Cinco's the first song that made him give it here. Because you remember Ultra
Was
Cinco?
that before Stay Scheming?
Okay.
Yeah, that was before Stay Scheming.
All right, fine.
Fair. Well, anyway, man, shout out to all the co-signers and the co-signees. Listen,
But at some point, enough's enough, like Drake.
Very much so.
I'm just checking. I
Very
just want to see
much
what
so.
temperature's saying. Because at some point, it's like you've co-signed everyone.
Yeah, it becomes see-through. It doesn't become as organic. And that might be where my issue with him and the UK stands, because it just doesn't feel that organic.
You didn't like the Heady song?
But that's hit and miss for me. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't.
Do you count that as a co-sign?
Yeah.
What about you, Pete?
I didn't think of it as a cosign.
Okay.
But I also think of it as Heady, generally as an artist. He's obviously not the most clear on the mic. He does drill.
Yep.
He's already in kind of a niche thing. Like in the UK, cool. But
How far
is someone in Virginia really listening to Heady One?
Not really.
They would have been listening to only one freestyle. So, and that's the power of the cosign right there. It takes you in positions that you weren't before.
Okay.
And that's it. All right, guys, let's move on to the final topic of today, the fun topic. So I basically put it to you, man, to put on your radio show hat off the back of us talking about radio, and basically do a bit of fantasy booking and imagine yourselves as radio hosts, radio DJs. And I want to hear the name of your radio show. I want to hear the first track you'll play. I want to hear the first guest that you would have.
Fam, if I had my own radio, yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
If
I was waiting for this, boy.
If I had my own like radio show, yeah, and I was a host, fam, do you know how like lit it would be? It would be like,
I'm not looking at you.
nah, yeah, Mo, look at me.
You know, I was looking at the floor.
Don't tell another man to look at you, fam.
But it would be so like smooth, man. Do you know
See?
what I mean? And then when I'm like kind of like, you know, commentating and that, you know, you put on that like that radio voice.
Don't do that
So
radio
what-
voice,
so
bro.
like you're doing right
Don't
now.
do that radio
you know,
voice.
just putting on that radio.
Peter,
What would it be called?
I'll take off these headphones.
Yo, that's how this on now.
I'll take off those headphones, bro.
But
See,
yeah,
I knew this guy was going to have so much fun with this topic, bro.
but nah, the station I cheated here, but it'll be Soul Searching FM.
Okay.
You man can guess my first guess.
Jay,
Nah, something by D'Angelo, bro.
is it D'Angelo?
Yeah.
Of course it's something by D'Angelo.
D'Angelo would be my first guess. My first track would probably be Bilal, Soul Sister, or Stevie Wonder, Superwoman. So if I was a radio host, that would be it. And it'll be amazing, bruv.
Soul Searching FM.
I think I'd get more listenerships than you, man. And I ain't even heard what you, man, got. But I know that for a fact.
Or
Just looking at both of you, I know that what you're about to say is whack.
why are you so violent today?
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Said the host of Soul Searching FM, yeah? Shit.
D'Angelo first guess.
Oh, I'm really hurt.
D'Angelo first guess, yeah?
Bruv.
Yeah, man.
What's the first track?
Bilal, Soul Sister, or Stevie Wonder, Superwoman.
Bruv, you'd be lucky to find a station that even host that shit.
Not gonna lie, fam. What about you here?
Bad negativity
cool.
over there, bruv.
Cool. So, the name of my
Soul
show.
searching.
The
This
name,
guy took 2 minutes
guy.
to think of his name.
this guy. Yeah, of course. As soon as he heard it, as soon as he heard the topic.
Oh, Soul Searcher.
Ooh.
It was his day to do Soul Searching as well.
Yeah, for real. For real.
There you go.
It was already there. He would basically just play all those soul samples on the show.
And then
100%.
it'll be a cheat code. But let's get it cracking.
I feel you. So the name of my radio show would be, I'll name this radio show later. My first guest would be Sweetie, because who wouldn't want to be in the same room as Sweetie? And I just feel like she's a great person, great personality. I just feel like we'll get on really well. Did I mention she's incredible to look at? And the track would be Mercury by Dave, because it's got that low riding summer evening type of feel that I would want that kind of show to be like. So yeah, that would be me. A nice mixture of things, really.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's not bad, is it?
It's not bad at all.
That was a
Not
great
bad
shout.
at
Yeah, this is going to be a funny one. So with me, you guys ready for this?
I'm ready, bro.
Oh, let's get it cracking.
Oh boy.
So, my first thing, I'm going to come back to it.
Somali
the first,
FM.
what did you say?
Somali FM.
More Somaliland.
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 Oh, I was close.
Now, if we're going to get to the first artist, I like how you chose Sweetie. You, not so much. But yours a great shot. The first song I've got, do you guys want to hear what it is? Oh, you guys ain't
God.
ready.
It's going to be Kanan, isn't
No,
it?
it's
It's
not.
going to be Blur
No. What?
Blur.
or Hanson.
I mean, listen.
But was a good shout. But was a good shout. But I'm going for a classic. I'm going for Freeway. And he's only got
Oh,
one
what
song.
we do?
Come on now.
That's a great start.
Yeah. So I'm going for Freeway. What we do? Interviewer. Now, I've decided to switch it up a bit. I want to interview an interviewer.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I'm going to interview Sway.
Sway Calloway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to kind of pick his brains. And the name I didn't really have one for. So I went with Some Island.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought, let me interview Sway just because. Do you know how much stories these man must have? Like, I don't know if you read Angie Martinez's book.
No.
So in her book, she's got a story where it's like, she was interviewing Puck. No, Shy. Puck was like, come west. So she went out to see Puck and she like, everybody was looking at her like, what the fuck is she doing here? And he was like, you're the only person that's giving me love in New York. So let's just do an interview. She's never released that interview ever. Because she said it will cause an uproar. But like,
there's a bit of it on YouTube.
Yeah. So it's like, can you imagine? I would love to just pick Angie Martinez's brain or Sway's brain.
Yeah.
Or Big Boy, them three. I would love to pick their brain. So I went with Sway.
That would just be gems upon gems upon gems.
Exactly, man. It's like with the rappers, like I couldn't name Jay, but I've seen him interviewed. You know when you just see, I've seen all their interviews. Never seen a D'Angelo interview in my life, so that's a good shout.
Yeah, never in life.
Sweetie, I just look at her. So that's a good shout.
It's not bad to look at still.
She's absolutely her. Yeah, man, she's phenomenal.
Listen, man.
Quavo took his car back, but she's phenomenal.
He properly repoed that, didn't he?
He said it in the album.
Yeah, he said
has anyone listened to it yet?
Was he wrong for that? No. I haven't listened to it. I won't listen to it
their new
unless
album,
you guys make me.
The new album, Culture 3.
Have you listened to it?
I have not listened to it. It's on my list though.
I was going to use them as I was going to use their song Cocoon as a song of the week, and I thought, nah.
Culture 2 was trash. Culture 1 was alright. So I'm looking forward to Culture 3. They've been doing a lot of promo. So.
I say Peter should listen to the Migos Culture 3 album, and then on the next episode of the podcast, he tells us what he thinks. And I think you should keep this bit in here.
Yes, I agree with that.
Peter?
If I have to, then yeah, cool.
And then you just got to tell us what you think, yeah?
Please do.
All right, let's do it.
So for real?
Let's do it.
All right, good.
Yeah, man, just listen to it. Just listen to it tomorrow, innit?
Yeah. I genuinely want to know what you think.
If you've got a spare hour and a half.
No, I won't do it tomorrow. I'll do it like a day before we have to record.
All right, this should be fun.
Feel you.
So that it's fresh.
I leave this bit in here so the audience know he's going to come back with a Migos thing. Oh, that could be amazing.
Okay, well, I mean, great choices. I mean, obviously Mo has got the one for the purists. I've got the one kind of more mainstream, but can get puri in.
What does Pete
have? In a minute. Pete. So anyway, guys, we're going to wrap up today. And thank you very much for listening once again. Shout out. So I want to shout out a publication called Mic Check, who are a UK based platform that basically aim to strike a balance between US and UK rap. They so graciously included your boys in their list of top 10 interesting music UK podcasts that you should check out. So thanks once again to Mic Check for that. Truly, truly humbling. Always great to be included in those sort of things.
Appreciate
so salute to Mic Check. Love what you're doing and please carry it on. Any other shout outs you want to make, guys?
Let's go France.
Oh, French national team.
Yeah. Well, not the players.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go Kante.
Except for Benzema, he's a bit of a pagan.
I love Benzema.
Yeah,
Benzema's for the streets, man.
Yeah, but morally he's shaky.
Oh, because of what he done to Valbuena?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get into it here,
cool.
but it's shaky.
I fuck with Benzema. I'm sorry, man.
No, he's
So do I.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
I fuck with Benzema.
He's top 3/5 strikers of his generation. For sure.
He's top 5, easy.
Him, Lewandowski,
Suarez,
Luis Suarez.
Aguero.
Would you put Aguero? Would you put Torres in there?
No.
Okay, cool. We'll leave it at that for now.
I'm just saying the last decade. Torres kind of was 07.
Torres then, his run wasn't long.
Yeah. And I'm talking about the last 10 years. Torres at Europe was what, 07? 08? Yeah. And then when he went Chelsea, it was a wrap.
Yeah, it's a good debate to have.
We're just going to have it.
Yeah. Any shout-outs?
No, not today. Oh, I did see Ego LMA the other day, so big up her. Randomly, I was on my way to get my hair done and saw her on a train.
So who?
Yes.
Ego LMA, singer, UK.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, shout out to Ego LMA.
Big
And
up
shout
Cleo
out to...
Soul.
Always.
He just
It's been a
had
minute,
to...
so yeah.
See? You should make a weekly thing, to be fair. Make sure you listen.
I can't wait till this guy comes back with his Migos report. I feel like it's a report from school. I can't wait.
He's going to hate it.
When I tell you, I'm going to listen to it as well, just so at least got something to listen to off. I think you should as well. Just so
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to listen to it anyway.
And I generally cannot wait for Peter's feedback. But yeah, that's me done. Man.
I'll listen to it.
Hey, salute to everyone. Salute to Mic Check as well.
All right. Well, yes, guys. Thank you for tuning in once again. You'll hear from us again in 2 weeks' time. Until then, take care, stay safe, whatever you're doing. And yeah, stay black if you're black.
You ain't said that in a minute.
I haven't said that in a minute, so happy reunion. But anyway, guys, take care. We'll see you soon. Peace.